I know that things eventually work out for Gunther down the line, but to see him go from being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion to fighting Pat McAfee feels like a massive downgrade. Also, Pat McAfee eventually leaves WWE because the schedule is too hectic as a result of the many other things he contributes to outside the company. How does he figure adding in wrestling a match against frickin' Gunther will help ease said stress? Now he's got to do his show many times per week, do commentary for WWE, raise his family, and prepare to wrestle? I applaud his efforts, but this seems a bit much. We're in St. Louis. That's all we need to have Randy Orton challenge John Cena for the WWE Championship after putting away Joe Hendry at WrestleMania.
Latest legend that I have to put down.
Not trying to overdo it, but Randy Orton using the nickname Legend Killer at this point in his career is more than a little awkward. Figure out why. WWE looks at 2 WrestleMania feuds and figures it's perfect to add into Backlash, despite the fact that Drew McIntyre solely earned a United States Championship match. Heels unfortunately can't play with other heels unless some babyfaces are involved. I never liked that because who says bad guys can't fight bad guys? Also, this match is more awkward when you realize it was originally a triple threat match without Drew McIntyre involved, the one guy who actually won the right to challenge. What is it with WWE messing up with Drew McIntyre ever since the CM Punk feud? Also, 10 minutes of entrances. If this guy held up the "sold my car for this seat" sign 5 to 10 years ago, I would laugh and think it's funny. But in 2025, is it weird that I legitimately believe him? Pyro Guide, did the flames set LA Knight on fire and render him incapable of wrestling tonight? Nope, we missed him. Damn it, gotta do it the hard way then. Also, you know it's bad when the advertisement in the middle of the ring is somehow brighter than the rising flames. Any brighter and the fans would be chanting "turn the lights off," and it's a sticker. There you go, ring crew. The top of the ring post was loose and I smacked it to put it back in place. That'll be $600 for my services, please. Wrestlers who competed in a fatal 4-way match team up in tag team action the previous night cliche. Brutal move from LA Knight, but Jacob Fatu had to leap backward on his own accord to make it happen, as LA doesn't have enough strength to make Jacob suddenly fall back like that.
An absolute cakewalk.
LA Knight only hit an elbow drop on Drew McIntyre, ignoring Damian Priest completely, who reacted as if he got elbowed as well.
With his athleticism, that's a 275-pound man.
I know, Michael. I've seen Drew do that kip up so many times for years now. I am still impressed, but you don't gotta sell his size to it.
Oh, look at this now, Fatu, Samoa drop.
Even if there wasn't much height at all, Damian Priest landing on the barricade like that without anything moving is brutal. First and off the show. Let's see if that continues. A stare down in the middle of the ring is one thing, but this stare down with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu begins with him outside the ring, climbing the ropes onto the apron, entering the ring, and then slowly approaching each other to continue staring. 2 minutes of Jacob slowly approaching Drew, pulling him aside, and then slowly exiting the ring to go to the top rope, which of course doesn't work out in his favor as expected. The series of finishers leading to Damian Priest almost winning gives me funny flashbacks to Backlash in 2007 when John Cena accidentally retained the WWE Championship against Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and Edge. Classic Backlash moment.
Again by McIntyre.
Gonna mention how much Drew weighs again, Michael?
Hooks the leg. And Priest.
Even despite the fact that Damian Priest pulled the referee out of the ring to stop the count, he still failed as the referee's hand clearly hit the canvas the 3rd time, meaning Drew McIntyre wins and he is the new United States Champion. But of course, Drew gets the short end of the stick as usual. I've seen moments like these a lot over the years, and I'm finally gonna ask, who conveniently sets these tables up in this particular side of the arena, I wonder? Giant case that looks ascendable. Let's put 2 tables right below it and covered it in tarp for some reason.
And look who's here!
Maybe this explains why Jacob Fatu hates Solo Sikoa. Sure, Solo prevented Jacob from being crushed through a table, but he also threw Jacob onto the floor where there's a lot of stuff all over the place, including the wheels of the commentator chairs. Jeff Cobb has arrived in WWE. And then he left almost immediately because his identical twin, JC Mateo, decided to take over, and he was less threatening than Jeff. Maybe Jeff should have stayed and JC should have hit the road. The Women's Intercontinental Championship finally takes the premium live event stage, and then the United States Championship is left behind in the shadows. The unfortunate result of WWE continuing with the 5-match per event rule and not properly booking the division. Thank God Becky Lynch flat out revealed that she was the one who attacked Bayley at WrestleMania. We're not even 2 months removed from Jade Cargill revealing Naomi was the one who attacked her in one of the most obvious whodunit moments.
Lyra wouldn't be in this business if it wasn't for me.
Becky Lynch going down the Trish Stratus route of 2023 where she demands the credit for everything that happened with certain wrestlers being who they are. What reason does Becky have to be mad at Lyra Valkyria's success here? It's not like she main evented WrestleMania like Becky did. Little too much smoke here, and now everybody in the floor seating are high.
Becky Lynch forcing her way into that matchup after attacking Bayley.
Which doesn't make much sense. If Becky was mad at Lyra for teaming with Bayley at WrestleMania, wouldn't it be more logical for her to simply return at WrestleMania and cost them the tag team titles? How long was Becky going to go with this charade of being on Lyra's side as tag champions? So many questions.
Success. Nice leapfrog arm drag take. Looking for a cover and she
Almost messed up on the crucifix pin, but an overall great series of counters early on by both Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria.
Will Becky give up here?
Perhaps she might give up, but probably not, since she's likely saying, "Wee, this is fun, let's do that again."
Shoulders are down. Becky's got a kick.
Actually, Lyra is the one who had to kick out, as Becky's shoulders were off the canvas. Unfortunately, the referee was too busy counting Becky's not-so-down shoulders to even notice Lyra's obviously down shoulders here. Becky Lynch be like, "Why didn't you continue counting despite her shoulders being off the canvas? You did that exact same thing to me 2 minutes ago." Careful, Becky. Giving LJ Cleary attention is going to cause the internet to think he's just some random dork that Lyra hooked up with and not an actual pro wrestler. All just because he wears glasses, too.
The veteran.
Can't believe I would ever say this, but Becky Lynch is frustrated that she didn't successfully pin Lyra Valkyria from simply throwing her back into the ring without additional damage. Here you go, get a close-up of the Intercontinental Championship while the match itself is picking up. Let's not pay attention to the wrestlers in the ring.
17,000.
Fucks I don't give about the amount of advertisements on the ring canvas, and the fans in attendance.
Down goes Valkyria. Almost had her.
Too bad Morgan & Morgan is refusing to help Becky Lynch win the match by means of their bright colors. Try slamming Lyra on the cricket logo instead, see if that works. Meanwhile, on this far side of the arena,
A move she perfected.
Lyra must be really confused here because she pulled Becky closer to the corner and prepared to climb the turnbuckle presumably, but then decided to pin her instead, which didn't work because of all the time wasted. I know that Becky's been absent for almost an entire year by this point, but that is not how you properly lock in the disarmer. Lyra's arm is nowhere near in position for pain, and yet she is in pain.
Kick out by Valkyria again.
Lyra be like, "Surprise, I kicked out a blah."
You can't win the title with the chair, Becky.
Michael Cole would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Becky is determined to win the Intercontinental Championship and hates Lyra Valkyria, so her intention is to use a chair and screw herself over?
Highly fortunate. Another man hit. Another kick out by the...
Too many finisher kickouts. That's either the second or third time that Lyra has kicked out of the manhandle slam. And you want me to believe this is the move that squashed Bianca Belair in 20 seconds at SummerSlam 4 years ago?
Becky Lynch and got her. Lyra kicks and Becky...
Lyra Valkyria defeats Becky Lynch while blinded from an eye poke. The literal definition of "I could beat you with my eyes closed." Much as I wish she didn't kick out of 10 manhandle slams in this match, I'll still remove a sin for that cool ending. And as you probably guessed by what you saw on the screen, that sin is put back on the counter due to an immediate post-match assault.
I'm already the greatest ever.
I am the greatest champion in WWE simply by existing cliche. Either Penta needs to speed up on his timing with the pyro, or the pyro needs to slow down on the timing with Penta. And then there's the music, which is also offbeat to both Penta and the pyro.
Oh, and look who's with him.
And then Dominic Mysterio accidentally blinded Finn Balor with his hair whip, causing the feud to take place. Speaking of, what the hell happened to this feud? There's been hints for months on the possibility of Finn either leaving the Judgment Day or kicking out Dominic from the Judgment Day. After WrestleMania, it just sort of died. Don't hint at something if you're not going to execute it.
You consider Dominic the greatest. He's certainly neck and neck with me.
Wade Barrett hints at a match we will sadly never see. Had it not been for his multiple injuries, Wade could have definitely been a bigger star. Man, I miss him in the ring.
So this kid is everything he said he ever was.
Does that include being Eddie Guerrero's son instead of Rey Mysterio's?
Dominic with a suicide dive. Oh!
Suicide dive turned into a DDT on the floor. Holy shit, now that's what you call amazing. I'll even take off 2 sins for it.
Takes the count. And now...
Infracción de derechos de autor.
Chop outside the ring.
Careful, Penta, you almost chopped the former Brock Lesnar guy. Well, former at this point in time.
Of course, numerous tag titles with his brother Ray Phoenix.
Would you like to clarify which certain companies Penta won tag team gold with Ray Phoenix, Michael?
Took a little while to get up there.
Because Penta took too much time posing for the fans, Dominic Mysterio looks like a moron standing around waiting for something to happen.
Stole this from his dad.
Stole? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that Rey Mysterio owned the rights to the 619 when multiple other wrestlers also do that very same move. You gonna give Io Sky shit for using it too, you hypocrite? This may have been a short match, but I was enjoying it. And then the Judgment Day showed up to interfere. This doesn't have to happen every single time, you know. Sure, heels gotta heal, but sinners also gotta sin.
He fiddled
farted around for a while.
What the hell is Chad Gable?
That's not Chad Gable, you motherfucker! When you put too many premium live events on your schedule and multiple editions of Saturday night's main event in between, you get situations like this. Jey Uso has never defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on a premium live event from the moment he won at WrestleMania to when he lost it back to Gunther. How sad. This match between Gunther and Pat McAfee exists because Gunther was mad at Michael Cole for doing the yeet with Jey Uso. What was Gunther supposed to be, the IWC? Playing one single NFL game in St. Louis is apparently enough to qualify as a WWE statistic for some reason.
For the first time, I am going to be very biased.
Michael Cole's creepy erection for Pat McAfee has completely blocked his sense of reality, as he has been biased for years when it came to The Miz. Also, since Michael was more focused on cheering for Pat McAfee than he is actually calling the match, couldn't they have just brought Joe Tessitore to join up with Wade Barrett like they do on SmackDown and call the match while Michael accompanies Pat to the ring? To the guy with that sign on the right, even if John Cena did appear in Barbie 2, should that ever happen, he'd just appear in the background like he did that one time. It'd be filmed within one day and he's back like nothing happened.
And his opponent.
Alicia Taylor forgot to introduce Gunther until after his entrance was practically over. She also going to be biased in this match like Michael Cole?
Come on, Pat!
That's not fair to swipe Pat's shirt away from the guy it landed on. How often does a shirt land on someone's head? That should be his.
Oh, Pat.
Gunther should be thankful that both he and Pat McAfee are on the ropes, otherwise the referee would have awarded Pat the victory due to Gunther tapping out for the second PLE in a row. Also, Gunther wasting time underestimating his opponents is what led him to lose to Jey Uso at WrestleMania 41. So why continue to go on that path, especially when he said he's more focused than ever before?
Alright, that'll wake up.
Haha, you tripped.
What does this prove? Seriously.
What do you think? It proves that Pat McAfee, athletic as he is, should not get in the way of Gunther even if he started picking on you. It also proves that WWE needed some time to kill to allow Jey Uso to be World Heavyweight Champion for another month before giving it back to Gunther. Ref, Gunther is literally tapping. Why hasn't even Michael Cole noticed that since he's focused on being biased in favor of Pat McAfee here? Gunther is spending more time taunting Michael Cole than he is actually trying to defeat Pat McAfee. It was interesting maybe the first 3 times, but not the next 13.
McAfee may have the upper hand.
McAfee? Michael Cole begged Gunther to end the match many times, but when Gunther puts Pat in a submission to end the match, Michael gets up from the desk to interfere. So do you want Gunther to finish off Pat or don't you? The referee somehow hasn't thrown the match out due to outside interference or called for the disqualification, even if said interference is Michael Cole. Even though I don't condone outside interference, it was still funny to see Michael Cole attempt to help Pat McAfee cheat to win by holding down one of Gunther's legs. Normally this would work, but in this case, it shows how powerful and smart Gunther really is to not fall for it. Why are we still calling it the WWE Undisputed Championship when the Universal title no longer exists and the only lineage being followed is the WWE Championship? And of course, there's the World Heavyweight title existing separately, so there's nothing undisputed about this title.
When I leave, your family is erased.
How the hell is that supposed to work? Taking a title and running away like your CM Punk in 2011 doesn't erase Randy Orton's family's existence from the WWE and pro wrestling itself. Maybe the reason this heel run of John Cena isn't working out that much is because nothing he says ever made sense. Almost all villains made sense with their claims. This, on the other hand, it's not as powerful as France, but it's still one of Randy Orton's best entrances, with his hometown of St. Louis singing along to his music.
They would go on to meet many times.
Except for the fact that Randy Orton and John Cena have never, and unfortunately will never, met one-on-one at WrestleMania. They faced off literally everywhere else except that one major stage. Stare in, lock up, release, repeat, and then handshake attempt. That's the first 5 minutes of this near 30-minute match, so don't worry folks, you are missing absolutely nothing here.
Sometimes they hate him, but
You can't wrestle chants automatically activate the 5-sin penalty, even if it was integrated into the storyline of bad guy John Cena.
because of this whole silly Nexus situation.
Michael Cole continuing to taunt Wade Barrett for the failure of the Nexus from 15 years ago.
Still impressed with the shape that John's able to maintain.
How are you impressed that John Cena can maintain his physicality for Hollywood blockbusters and Peacemaker TV shows, yet ignore how much The Rock got in better shape for a much larger and more stressful schedule? If The Rock can do it, so can John Cena.
Now intact so far.
Not had a match since.
Back and forth sleeper holds was a funny piece of comedy as both John Cena and Randy Orton try to outdo the other with that hold to the audience's delight. If John Cena really wanted to ruin wrestling for the fans, then he shouldn't have even done the "you can't see me" taunt at all, even if it was to the fans instead of Randy Orton, because he still gave them what they wanted. What I would have done is just hit the 5-knuckle shuffle immediately and possibly flip off the audience as well. A great callback to the times Randy Orton countered the Attitude Adjustment into the RKO. Still one of the best counters we've seen between those two over the years.
Seen off the ropes again. Randy, RKO!
An RKO out of nowhere is always worth a sin remover. Randy Orton continues to be creative all these years later. You'll love to see it.
Randy now went for an RKO.
The referee had to move forward so that he could get knocked over at the crucial point in the match. Guys, wait, hold up, I'm out of place. Okay, now run me over. What do you bet Randy Orton is thinking? Damn, the tables they had prior to these ones didn't have as much wires and cables. Holy shit. I think WWE realized I didn't say the actual catchphrase when I brought this up the first time and had to kill the referee a second time just to get me to do it. Fine, fine. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche. Ding! You happy now? Since the table didn't break from Randy's attempt at an attitude adjustment, John had to knock it over by himself. Sorry, Randy, but bringing out another table doesn't make the second attitude adjustment steal any better than what happened earlier. I already said it, for fuck's sake. Why are you trying to make me repeat myself twice in one night? The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche. There. Now stop killing the referees, please. Long-term storytelling, as Randy Orton has already paid the $50,000 fine in advance nearly 2 years ago, so he was free to hit one more RKO on Nick Aldis. That was awesome. Out of everything that could have caused Randy Orton to lose to John Cena, it was R-Truth. Well, that was disappointing, ending a legendary feud between two great rivals with someone who was never part of said rivalry.